Our mission at Accedo is to deliver the best user experience possible. To us, this means designing products that people are happy to use, enable them to achieve whatever they need, whenever they need it. However, this is not always easy, especially when you're designing for different platforms at the same time. And it gets even harder if your audience, your users, are coming from different cultures. So how do we do it? I want to share with you this simple framework we use. It's called the 3 C's in multi-platform UX. The 3 C's are consistency, continuity, and complementarity. And following these 3 keywords, it really helps us to design from the beginning of the project, thinking about all the platforms that are going to be involved. Let's start with consistency. It's all part of the same family. As designer, it's part of our job to think about the big picture, all the platform, and make sure that our apps are going to communicate the same branding, the same feelings on any device the users are going to access to our app from. However, you don't want to take consistency too far. You need to make sure that app is following guidelines and best practices which are different on any platform. We will see some example of this later on. The second one, continuity. Nowadays, all of us, or most of us in this room, own multiple devices, and there's a reason why. We use them differently throughout the day. We want to make sure that our apps follow us across the platform, the different platform, rather than us following the app. So let's say I'm on a bus and I'm starting to watch some content on my smartphone. Once I get back home, I want the TV to know exactly where I left the content and take it from there, without any effort from me. That's how a good UX should be, right? So the last one, complementarity. As I said before, we own multiple devices, and there's a reason why. We use them differently for different occasions. It's important that these devices interact with each other so that they complement in features and in situation. Context is key, and certain features make sense only on certain devices on certain times. For example, these are a couple of digital remotes that we designed for our customers. You understand that making these same features, a remote for a desktop app, let's say, will make no sense at all for users. They would not be using a computer for changing channel on TV. I don't know about that. So keeping this in mind, let's look at some examples from the real world. This is a screenshot of the very first Netflix app released for Xbox One. We were involved in the development of this. And I don't know who of you is familiar with the Xbox app, but this is pretty much how an app looks like on this platform. It enhances features that only Xbox can offer to the users. It happened that early this year, in January 2016, Netflix released a major rebranding of all the apps. They make them look consistent across the platform. This is how it looks like right now, the Netflix app on Xbox One. How did the users like this change? As you can see from this comment that I took from Twitter, not all the users really like the change. The reason why is that the app didn't look like and it didn't behave like an Xbox app anymore. Certain features that are specific on Xbox have been taken away just to make it look like any other device, like say a Samsung Smart TV. So this is what I was saying before. You don't want to take consistency too far. The same is true for these. You're looking at right now 2 screenshots of the very same page of the very same app, but design is slightly different for iOS and Android. As I said before, you need to make sure that your app is following the best practice specific on any platform or in any operating system. We've been talking about devices so far, but as designer, we need to keep in mind users, first of all. And since we're talking about users of different cultures, languages is probably one of the main components of a culture. What you're looking at right now is a screenshot of an app we did design for a customer of ours from Middle East. And the tricky part on this project was the same design needed to work seamlessly, both in English and in Arabic, with certain differences that you can imagine and see, like the text going from right to left and left to right, the length of the copy that changed, get much longer in Arabic. So knowing all these factors, it really affected our design decisions since the beginning of the project. We need to keep this in mind if we want our design to work the same way, both English and Arabic. Iconography. Visual elements such as icons or emojis, we use them in our communication nowadays more than ever. You need to keep it in mind, though, that these are not always the same meaning for all the people. Like this one, like a thumbs up. To me, and probably most of you, means something good. It's a thumbs up, right? Well, it's not the same for everybody. There are certain people that might perceive this sign in a different way, and it might spark some different reaction. So you want to keep this in mind if you're designing for different cultures at the same time. Colors is a major component in interface design. We use it for communicating branding and feeling at a glance with the users. It's too bad you cannot always rely on colors either. For example, you cannot really see with this projector, but this is red. And for me, red means something like danger or warning. That's how I connect it to. In certain part of the world, certain culture, this has a completely different meaning, like fortune, happiness, prosperity. You might also want to keep this in mind if you're designing for different cultures. Look and feel. If I look at this app or this website, I might personally think that this is a little bit overcrowded, too much information at the same time. The look of this is a little bit outdated. But that doesn't really matter because these apps are not for me. The market that these apps are targeting, they might perceive these in a completely different way, like a really informative or a premium feeling, something really desirable. So what am I trying to say here? You need to learn from your users. You need to know who you're designing for so that you can take the right decision when designing. Test whenever you can. It's never too early or it's never too late in a project to test an idea and make sure it actually works as you expected. And don't be afraid of taking the lead. We are experts on what we're doing, and we need to guide our customer when it comes to take this decision that are going to affect our users. That's it.